Hey guys, Unius back here for some more R.U.S.E. This time I'm playing Soviet Union. We are going to speed it up. Basically, as I can remember, I built a secondary quarters past this town of Boskirkes and another secondary headquarters here, just to outside of Sansa, just to be close to a few supply dumps. Alright, so I opened this up and I immediately seized the supply depots here. I am versing on the other front a regular hard Soviet Union as well and a regular hard American. So they were already fighting each other, and they were moving towards me to try to extend their frontiers. What I did first was deploy some 45mm AT guns inside this forest here. But as you can see, they could not engage the Stroke light infantry. So I had to resort to using vehicles. Right, so I had my heavy artillery position up. Right, the Stroke was still engaging my AT guns and routing them. But my artillery was engaging. I also built another artillery position here and seized two of these supply depots. This was a pretty large map. I like playing on this map, mainly because of the resources you could amass. So huge supply depots, huge network of them. And then I built another heavy artillery position here, and this artillery position was attacking the supply depot. Right, I was replacing my AT guns into the forest there. And now I was building myself an artillery and anti-air base. I didn't have much time to patch up an air force yet, because the Russians, their air force is extremely expensive to build. Right, now I'm putting some 45mm guns into this forest here, and also building some AA guns, 37mm AA guns. So a variety of AT and AA guns. I didn't go for the Russian blitzkrieg tactic of amassing a large armor force right up. I just tried to secure my frontiers. Right, I had my armor base up and running, and I believe I was researching the IS-2 or one of those heavy tanks. As you can see, the huge range this artillery position has. Basically, if you put it in the middle of the map, it can probably target almost anything. Right, so the other Soviet player and the Americans, they now have aircraft, which was pretty bad for me. Right, I was building some more 37mm guns. I think I was putting it into this forest region here, and I also have 5 of these here, just to give some anti-aircraft fire.
Engineers are en route to the building site. Sir, a new ruse is available. We've almost emptied that depot, sir. Sir, move to position and deploy structure. Engineers are en route.
Right. Right, there was a American force moving up.
Net camouflage has been removed, sir.
I wasn't that frightened, but I mainly had a huge force of 80 guns. They had Pershings already, so that was pretty scary. But the rest were pretty easy to deal with.
Reporting. Enemy is deploying a new base. Reporting. Supply depot area.
That's some GI general infantry. And that Pershing there was retreated out of my range and sights. So what I did was build an airfield I mean, and immediately try to take out a recon plane. And now my IS-2 has been completed. I built, I think it was 3 of those at the beginning, and then I tried to make more, but they were expensive, so I couldn't really make them. It's a little air skirmish there. Fighter bombers. They were trying to attack my artillery position, but the entire air force got wiped out. Alright, I started up my administrative buildings, so this was basically the beginning of my massing of resources. Some more AA guns.
Intelligence reports that the enemy has completed new research.
Long range artillery fire. The Russians, they excel a lot in artillery fire.
Not even a drop of oil left in this depot.
Mainly in their artillery positions and their production of artillery.
Research has been completed.
Their main weakness is their air force, however. It's very expensive, but once you can get some Sturmovix and fighters up, they're very powerful. Right, I got my air recons up. I placed one here outside of Tezgino and another one here.
Building deployment completed. No more supplies in this one, sir. We've almost emptied that depot, sir. Sir. Building deployment completed.
So there was a Stewart over there.
We've been given
Easy target. Right, I built a couple more airfields. Getting ready to build my fighter bombers.
Building deployment completed.
So we're reaching the 16.5 minute mark.
Not even a drop of oil left in this depot. Building in progress, sir.
Right, I was still spamming some more administrative buildings. And I got my prototype base up to build some prototype tanks, such as the IS-3.
Not even a drop of oil left in this depot. Sir, move to position and deploy structure. Reporting. Unit under sustained fire. Building deployment completed.
Alright, so my IS-2s were engaging.
Unit reports damage, sir.
So these were Pershings.
Has been routed.
They were a good match with my IS-2s.
Reporting. Enemy is deployed at new base. Receiving report. Our units are under fire.
And my IS-2s seem to be routing pretty easily. I built 2 prototype bases just to speed up the construction time, and also another prototype base, so that's 3. Right, the Pershings are moving once more up for another skirmish. but I was retreating back under my artillery fire.
Rookies are training, they'll be ready soon. Production cancelled as ordered.
Alright, so the Americans were focusing their attacks on my front now. But I was producing some of my Sturmovik fighter bombers.
Depot is low on supplies.
So I had one targeted.
Sir, reporting losses.
And we'll watch this.
Reporting. Unit under sustained fire. Unit has been routed. Receiving report. Our unit has been destroyed. Report confirmed. Target destroyed. Unit is critically low on fuel and
Right, so with my Pershings, it was easily destroyed by my Sturmoviks.
Unit is out of ammo. Heading back to base.
And that's what really caused their retreat.
Reports enemy neutralized.
Got one more.
Sir, reporting enemy unit has been destroyed. Plane is low on fuel and returning to base. Yes, sir. Deploy structure to location. Engineers are en route to the building site.
Alright, so I got another engineer.
Building deployment completed. Sir, our camouflage nets are no longer in position. Camouflage has been deployed.
Right, little
Building
recon here.
deployment completed. Reporting. Supply depot out. Recruitment has started, sir.
Right now I finally had some IS-3s moving up.
This is HQ. New unit production requested.
A lot of them actually. And I was
Report from
researching the
inside.
fighter,
We have a new enemy base.
the Yak-3. And I just owned their supply dump there with my Sturmovik.
This is HQ. New unit production requested. Yes, sir. Starting unit production. Net camouflage has been removed, sir.
Alright, some more of my Yak-3s being produced.
Yes, sir. Deploying camouflage nets.
Basically, the Russians don't excel much in bombing, so I use my Yak-3s, which are pretty awesome, to cover the skies instead. Right, the Americans launched a air attack, small one.
Engineers will take care of that. Reporting.
Apparently did a lot of damage.
A new ruse is at our disposal. Building deployment completed.
Right, some more administrative buildings here. So all that cash flowing in. Right, so we just reached the 23-minute mark.
Rookies are training, they'll be ready soon.
The game was running pretty slow, to be honest. I didn't expect much resistance. Right, I have my yak freeze into the sky, just to patrol the skies in case of a air assault from the enemy. And some more IS-3s moving up to the line.
This is HQ. Unit production requested. A new route is at our disposal. Building deployment completed. Depot is low on supply. Building deployment completed. Rookies are training. They'll be ready soon. This is
Building some more yak freeze.
Enemy researchers have just completed a technological advance. This is HQ. New unit production requested.
Also had 2 more airfields here.
Unit production in progress.
Alright, so now I'm protecting this sector.
Are no longer in position. Camouflage net deployment in progress, sir. Sir, a new ruse is available. Unit production in progress.
So the sky was full of yak freeze. Right, some more IS-3s.
Yes, sir. Starting unit production. Sir, enemy
Let's
has
speed this
reported
up.
new base.
Alright, I got my
Ready for duty.
Zoo
New unit
37
reporting, sir.
armored anti-aircraft gun. So that's the mobile anti-aircraft gun.
Reporting. Unit under sustained fire.
Alright, just raiding supplies here.
Report. Enemy unit destroyed. Yes, sir. Starting unit production.
Right, so after this small army has been built, I built
Sir, enemy has deployed a new base.
another army on this front.
Receiving report. New unit ready for duty. Reporting. Unit under sustained fire. Unit reports heavy fire.
It seems the Americans launched a attack.
Rookies are training. They'll be ready soon.
As you can see, we got our IS-3s on this front,
Blitz support in progress in the sector, sir.
and moving my Su-37s as well. Alright,
Unit under
we're
fire.
on the move.
Sir, our camouflage nets are no longer in position.
Alright, I had these 2 vehicles targeted
Unit reports enemy neutralized.
for a attack.
Unit reports damage, sir. Receiving report. Enemy unit destroyed. Unit under fire.
As you can see, the
Progress, sir.
air couldn't stand up to my superiority. And
We have been given
the
a new
Soviets were losing on this front. They basically got owned now, so it's just me and the American.
in this sector. To all units in sector, you now have blitz command.
Attacking with my first armor.
Receiving report.
And I just basically moved all my air into the enemy base just to wipe out the air force.
Unit has been wiped out. Unit position compromised. Mission aborted, sir. Reporting enemy losses. Unit reports heavy fire. Unit is breaking up, sir.
So I was spamming at the same time.
You have been routed. Sir, reporting one
I
routed.
sent
Unit
another
down.
force of yak freeze just to attack them.
Unit reports damage, sir. Unit is breaking up, sir. Blitz support in progress in the sector, sir. Receiving
So the
report.
entire air force was obliterated.
Blitz capacity has been exhausted, sir. Receiving report.
And my IS-3s
Out of ammo. Heading back to base.
will be moving into
Plane is low on fuel and returning to base.
their base.
Plane is low on fuel and returning to base. Unit reports enemy neutralized.
Right, so my Yak-3s ruled the skies.
Reporting.
However, they made a anti-aircraft unit
They're
here.
retreating, sir. We've been given a new route. Unit reports damage, sir. All units in sector. You now have limited capacity. Sir, our camouflage nets are no longer in position. Net camouflage has been removed, sir.
Right, so all my IS-3s there.
Aborted mission, sir.
Just smashing the enemy.
Under fire. Unit reports damage, sir.
Right, so this was the end, basically. I could only secure a minor victory. However, because the other enemy took care of my other opponent, so
Blitzing is no longer possible in this sector.
I didn't get that much to fight. Therefore, I didn't get my points that I was hoping for. And here we go. Just sending a barrage of Air Force superiority. Use my Sturmovix.
Unit is critically low on fuel and ammo. Returning to base.
So that's the end of that fighter.
Report in progress in the sector.
Hope you guys enjoyed this. And please sub, for the next one is going to be the Japs. So see you guys till then.